tight area.
Yeah, this is like really tight. I had to take my pack off, and it's. So I'm going to head back out and check out the other stuff that's here. This is just too wet and too muddy. And obviously something is making the chains swing. So time to get the hell out of here. There's a really cool old sign, cage call sign. And right here in front of me is a mine hoist signal code sheet. Yeah, we found the miner's toilet right there. Wow. I don't know what that is. That doesn't sound like wind, but that's crazy. Don't know if that's a bird or I don't know what that is. It almost sounds like snakes, but wow. I've heard some weird stuff in mines, but that is definitely creepy. I don't know what that is. So let's get out of here. What is this?
That was freaking me out, man, but I didn't have any power.
Oh, check that out.
You guys weren't around, and I was like, man, I got like a little bit of battery left on my flashlight, and that's it. You know, this isn't even on.
We were quite surprised to find this memorial at the end of a drift. The round tan container you see here apparently held cremated remains, and we surmised that the various trinkets were important to that person and their life. We just never know what we're going to find underground.
And over here, this is really impressive. The ceiling coming down there, you can see it's angled. Almost looks like a cathedral ceiling. It's actually pretty artistic. You know, it comes down there like a wedge shape, and then comes down over there.
Can you feel the excitement? There we go, 430,000 miles. Look how this car drives. I'm going about 75 miles an hour now. Runs great, rides smooth, and best 15 grand I've ever spent. Look at those tracks, they're in really good condition. Okay, something's up here. This might be the end. Looks like a collapse maybe too, I don't know. Well, here is the face of the mine, what the miners call the face. That was the end of the tunnel. This one's got a pipe with water coming out of it. Isn't that amazing? Okay, that's looking down at where we're headed, and right here in front of me, again, these are all slow motion collapses in progress, and that's looking up, and we're going to keep going down where Tom and Julie are through that obstacle course of timbers, some of which are pretty hazardous. Okay, came across this noose here in the intersection in the mine. Tunnel going that way and that way, and then here's the noose tied to a beam way up there. Well, it's still here.
I'm pretty sure that's it. I remember there was you pull out these drawers and there was a record player in here. Yeah, there's the radio. And then the record player, I think, was over here. Yeah, check that out. Still here. But it must have been something being up here, working this hoist, and you know, you have the old-time radio there, record player to keep you occupied, and a refrigerator. Okay, we're back for part 3. Paul's heading down to the 400 level, and this is where we left off the last time. So we're all going to go down here. So about 50 feet in from the portal to this mine is this about an 80-foot deep vertical shaft that she fell into. That's a shot looking down the shaft. We think that she probably walked in here after being out in the bright sun and her eyes weren't adjusted to the darkness yet, and she didn't see this massive hole and accidentally fell into it. And this is where they rescued her from. So here's a shot looking down this timbered tunnel we just came through. Got to go back this way to get back to the ladder system, but those timbers there on the right are at least a foot in diameter, if not more. And a lot of support was needed here, especially after that earthquake. Okay, we reached pretty much the bottom of this incline shaft. You can barely see the daylight up there. That little pinpoint of light right in the center of the frame, that's the portal. And we're down several thousand feet. And you can see there's a sign that says exit.
I mean, we may not get in
Right.
until we do a lot of work.
Yeah.
But we found the opening. And we had to hike a lot to get up here. So
Yeah, this was pretty hard to get to.
this is satisfying.
This is very satisfying. Yes, it's going to take work to get in here, but
Okay, so we're making some progress. You can see the hole there. We can look in there and see both, or at least the left side of the tunnel wall. So here is the eroded portal. We spent about an hour digging out, and a lot of air blowing out of there, so that was a lot of work.